All right. Now let's go. I want to deal with the Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko debacle. But I won't be on here too long. I'm going to try my best to make my point very fast. And I want to explain exactly how Alexa Grasso won that fight. I want to explain exactly how and why she is still the champion. Let me ask y'all a question. Now, if you remember, if you're a longtime follower, I asked the same question a year or two ago. It's been at least a year. Which fighter would you have rather been in that fight? Be honest. If you had to experience one of the fighters' fighting experience in there this past Saturday or the other, who would you rather be? Me personally, I would much rather have been Alexa Grasso in that fight. Salute, Lolita. I would gladly accept a bunch of jabs, most of which are partially deflected. I would much rather basically only absorb that. Aside from the occasional jab, Shevchenko landed one good straight left hand that kind of rocked Alexa. I think that was in the 5th round. I would much rather had accepted all those jabs that Shevchenko landed on Grasso than to be on the receiving end of all of that stuff that happened to Shevchenko in that fight. I would not have wanted to be punched in the face and knocked flat on my ass. Don't tell me Shevchenko won that fight. I don't want to hear nothing else from you. Y'all shut up. Alexa Grasso was whooping Valentina's pure D ass. I don't want to hear nothing about the technical, the rule, this point, and that punch. Who would you have rather been in that fight? Let's say it was a street fight. Who would you have rather been? Do y'all know Shevchenko in this fight was saved by the bell? Y'all, people seem to forget that 5th. And let me say this for the record. Valentina Shevchenko lost. She was defeated. Fair and square. There was no robbery. She was defeated. Now, if you don't believe me, then ask Valentina how she feels right now. You let me know if she told you that she feels like the winner. All the Shevchenko fans, does it feel like she won? Now, let me tell you, I'm a Shevchenko fan. And to be honest, I would rather Shevchenko be the champion because of how well polished she is. She's extremely talented, and she would make the best representative for the division, the best general or leader for the division. However, Valentina does not have leader-worthy aggression. Her aggression levels are not on the level of a boss. Now, people have been talking about how Valentina was winning the 5th round up until about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Again, let me ask you, in this round, who would you had rather been? Grasso which means you only take a few jabs to the face. I think she took a good right hand. You're going to take some jabs. Or would you have rather been Valentina Shevchenko? Now, this is the funniest part of the fight. It was oh so hilarious. Now, listen, let me say first of all, I'm having fun with this. And I hope all of you are as well. Don't take this too serious. I see some people getting way too serious about this. This is meant to be fun, and I'm having fun. Okay, shout out to all of the content creators here on YouTube. They give me a lot of motivation and ideas. However, I have to do this. I have to do something on this video. I'm going to call out another content creator. I'm not really going to call him out. I'm not calling him out. What do you really call him? I'm not calling him out. But he said something in one of his post-fight analysis that burned into my memory. And I can't get it out. Can y'all guess who I'm talking about and exactly what I'm talking about? And I have to point this out. And understand, as I point this out, it's all in fun. It's all in a spirit of love. But another content creator talked about how this fight went down and totally skipped this part, which was the funniest part of the fight. I'm sorry, but it looked like Grasso caught Shevchenko with her boyfriend, chased her out in the parking lot, finally caught up to her, and then, once she caught up to her, this happened. Fucking point fight fit you. Fuck you. Oh God. Grasso got mad at that point fighting. That's what it was. She got mad about that point fighting, right? Fucking point fighting, bitch. Fucking point fighting. I hate that. Oh, God. Now, I want y'all to listen to something. Because you got to understand, I spent a good 10 minutes laughing at that. It's the same day I made that post-fight analysis. I spent a good 10 minutes laughing at this sequence right here. The way she started, the way she commenced to pounding away on Valentina, that was a parking lot brawl. You know, chick done caught her with her boyfriend. Oh no, you Oh God. Let me say, I would not have wanted to bend Valentina in that moment. No. I mean, if I could get Windows Movie Maker, I can actually edit those sound effects into this video to go off with each strike. I'm sorry, this is too hilarious. I would not. Okay, for all the people out there saying Shevchenko won, would you have rather been Shevchenko in that fight or Grasso? And understand, this moment right here is the height of embarrassing. That's the height of embarrassment. That sequence right there that Shevchenko was subjected to. That's the most humiliating, one of the most humiliating and degrading positions you could possibly be in, where somebody is mounted on your back and beating you. This is disrespectful beating. Beating you this disrespectfully and just degrading your very existence. This is not the same as absorbing some jabs. Don't tell me that this is no different from a jab. I'm not buying that. Now, you can believe that. But I view this as demoralizing. You look extremely defeated. You look about the size of a thimble. This is demoralizing. When Grasso was eating those jabs early in the round, that wasn't embarrassing. That wasn't demoralizing. Most of them, again, were either blocked or partially deflected. This right here is humiliating. At this moment, this is the moment when Shevchenko's mother would have closed her eyes and turned away from the screen. I'm starting to see that the real problem here is people who are not genuine, real fighters. Because it just feels like people don't understand fighting. In a fight, you don't want to be in this position that you're looking at right now. Now, understand. Listen, I want to play something for y'all. Because this right here, this moment in the fight, this is my favorite moment in the fight because of the comedy aspect of it. I am not celebrating Valentina's loss. Just for the record, I am not. I just genuinely thought that was hilarious. Now I'm going to play some audio for y'all. And I hate to do this. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I want so bad. I just don't want people to take stuff the wrong way. But listen, I'll do it like this. I heard a fellow content creator who I have the utmost respect for talk about the things that went down in this fight. And as he explained what went down in the 5th round, I am telling you, he did not articulate that Grasso was wailing away on Valentina. He just explained and said, Grasso took Valentina's back, stretched her out, and then the fight ended. Like, if you listen to the explanation, that's all the information you gather, was that Valentina went for a head and arm toss. Grasso slipped out, got her back, stretched her out, and went for a rear naked choke. No. Before that rear naked choke sequence, you had a beating. Are you kidding? This is the worst way to absorb punches. With your back to the person punching you, and they have a hold of your hand so that you can't get free. When Grasso was eating jabs, she was not also being physically restrained by Valentina. That is nowhere near as worse as what you're looking at. Absorbing a jab. Grasso was not under Valentina's physical control when she was absorbing them jabs. Right now, Grasso has Valentina under her physical control. Weighted down on her back, got her legs hooked inside of Valentina's, stretching them out, making her legs immobile. Look at Shevchenko's toes. Look at her. She's looking for the floor right now, Valentina. Where's the mat? You know how humiliating, embarrassing this is? Had her legs all cocked, spread apart. She whipped her arm underneath here. And you know what she's doing right here? She's forcing Valentina to stay in this position. Valentina mess up. Grasso got a submission right here. So Shevchenko had to just lay there and eat these shots. That's why she just covered up like that. People, don't compare this to eating jabs. Come on, man. We know fighting better than that. Listen, man. There's not that many people who cover MMA who actually grew up fighting, who have had several fights in their life. So those of us who have had several fights, more than we can remember, we're better qualified to talk about who won these fights. And straight up, ain't nobody gonna opt to have been Shevchenko in this fight. Raise your hand if you're one of those people. Because understand, this is just one moment. Flipping, turned her. Look at this position Shevchenko is in. This is the most painful moment to watch if you are Valentina's mother or father. At this point, you're not looking at TV no more. You tell other people, hey, tell me when this is over. I'm not going to sit here and watch somebody just neutralize my child and beat on them like that. Do you think Grasso's parents had a hard time seeing her get popped with a few jabs? Stop it! Look at that. Are you serious? Come on, man. Not only did Grasso even out the round with this, dare I say, I'll give you a pass for that 10-8. Yeah, that's what I give you a pass for that 10-8. And I dare anybody, I dare you. You really would rather have been Valentina in that fight? No, you wouldn't. Not only that, Shevchenko had to have been panicking inside, like, oh no. It's not just the pain, the feeling of punches hitting you in the back of the head. You're also panicking inside, like, oh, am I about to get finished again? I'm trapped. I can't get up. She on my back. She got me neutralized. I just got to sit here and be beaten. Oh no, I can't end the fight like this. This is a horrible, horrible position to be in, people. And that's what I think influenced the 10-8. Now, I don't agree with the 10-8. But I'm reluctant to not agree with it. So round 5, Alexa Grasso beating a new name into Valentina's title. And after she beats on her, she puts her in a rear naked choke, or she goes for a rear naked choke. So not only is now Valentina panicking, now she's really panicking. Not again in the rematch in the 5th round after I was doing so well. This is horrible. This is demoralizing, embarrassing. It's defeating. This is a person who is degrading you. That's not, and she keeps hitting her. I counted 27 punches already, and Shevchenko has already absorbed a few more and about to absorb some more. This ain't the same as Grasso absorbing those jabs. No. And look at how long this goes on, just getting pounded away on. And then in the closing, and then you got to see her face. After she's been beaten on numerous times, now she reveals this beaten woman's face to the audience as she's still being beaten on. You understand? See, when two people fight, one guy gets beaten up, it's like, oh, hey, well, good fight. But when somebody gets humiliated, that's when it's like, oh, man. Humiliation is different, people. Why you think fraternities have humiliation rituals? Masons have humiliation rituals. Humiliation is actually a spiritual experience. So she faces the audience and the big screen, and all of the cameramen surrounding the cage as she's being beaten on. And then Grasso helps her out. So, oh, Valentina, you don't need to be looking at the camera as I'm beating on you. So then she does this and further humiliates her. People, that is demoralizing. For the rematch to have ended like this, I am not tripping on no draw. Because quite frankly, had I been Grasso, I would have felt like the winner. And that's exactly why she felt like the winner after that fight. Let me choose who I'd have rather been, Alexa Grasso in a heartbeat. I'm not thinking twice about it. And take your pick, either the first or second fight. I would have rather been Alexa Grasso. And oh, we just looked at one round. How about that second round? How about that second round? Have y'all ever seen Valentina throw this many punches consecutively? Have y'all ever seen Shevchenko? When's the last time you seen her throw a 3-strike combination? How about a 4? Let's not go there now. Let's not go to 4. But how about that second round? What y'all see happen in that round? Was it another embarrassing moment? Was it more humiliation? I thought so. More humiliation, more embarrassment, and more domination from Alexa Grasso. See, I would not have wanted to have been Shevchenko right here. No, thank you. No, thank you. That's embarrassing. I don't want nobody's fist crashing in my face and then I fall straight backwards. So hard I got to do a backflip. She basically punched her into a backflip. Like I said, Grasso had not more moments. Well, yeah, she had more moments. I was about to say Grasso had all the moments. Shevchenko did have a guillotine attempt, though. Again, I would have rather been Alexa Grasso in this fight. You see, when you get punched and knocked down, one of the biggest things about that is that it's embarrassing because it looks so forceful. Looks like something out of a movie. You know, movie star punch somebody, go flying through the air. That's exactly what happened here. How many of y'all would have rather gone through that experience? No. She gets knocked down, clean down on her butt. And then it gets worse. Okay, this ain't round 5 no more. This is round 2. Now, maybe one of y'all can help me to understand this. But Alexa Grasso, look at this moment right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1-2 from Valentina. 13 strikes from Grasso, 2 from Shevchenko. Huh? Is that it? How How come Valentina don't launch these types of attacks? Where you just go into a frenzy, you tweak out and just start unloading the clip. Why don't we ever see Shevchenko teeing off on anybody like that? And then when somebody does tee off on her like that, she waits way too long to respond. She shouldn't have absorbed all these shots before she responded. But this showed that, Valentina ain't no street fighter. She ain't no really scrappy. She's technical, precise. She go for precision. But the bad thing about that, a brawler can best you. So 13 strikes to 2. Now granted, Shevchenko landed some light strikes here. She landed some nice strikes here. But the ones Grasso was landing look harder. Valentina not getting much momentum. Range of motion is like gone. I'd much rather absorb. Man, I've been hit like that so many times in fights. You don't even feel punches like that. You don't even feel them. You can hear them better than you can feel them. You thump, 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 thump. Yeah, I'd much rather go through that. Okay, what happened here? Oh, YouTube about to disable me. OBS, something happened. What happened? Oh no! My internet crashed. Well, it didn't crash. Wait a minute. I gotta pull this back up. Google crashed. My Google crashed. But I'm still live. How am I still live? This is crazy. But y'all get my point. You get my point. Alexa Grasso had virtually all the moments in the fight. Those moments involved near stoppages. Granted, Shevchenko had one too. But man, how many near stoppages has she had? Okay, some could argue that punch was a near stoppage. She was lucky she didn't get hurt a lot worse from that punch. Man, am I even still live? I got knocked off of Google. And I should still be live. Okay, let me see what's going on here. I should be good. Bear with me if you are still live. Yeah, my whole screen just shut off. Probably YouTube, be honest. But if it is, listen, I'm gonna have to redo this video. I gotta talk to the people, man. I gotta talk to the people. I feel like people are being unreasonable with this fight. I feel like people are minimizing these big moments. They're minimizing Grasso's moments. Okay, I'm still live. Can y'all see that? Y'all should be able to see that. Ain't that crazy? I just got knocked off of the doggone thing. Y'all should be able to see that. I'm about to pull this back up. Okay, so that flurry, that knockdown in round 2, that flurry immediately afterwards, and round 4 is debatable. As I watched that fight again, I could see how round 4 could go to Grasso. Rewatch round 4 open-mindedly. Okay, maybe, without being biased. But that 4th round is a little debatable. One man's opinion. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. My whole Google crashed. Doggone Google crashed. I'm sorry, man. Okay, so you had round 2. Definitely Grasso's round. Round 5. Definitely Grasso's round. That round 5. The rounds Grasso won, she embarrassed Valentina. The minutes Grasso won, she humiliated Valentina. The moments when Valentina won, it was a tap. It was a jab, partially blocked. Punching of Alexa Grasso, who's walking towards you nonstop. That's not a big moment. That ain't nothing to brag about. Ooh, look at all these jabs I landed on my opponent who's walking towards me as I'm jabbing him. No, I'm going to be more embarrassed about these moments Grasso had. As soon as those moments that Grasso had come up, I tell people, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't look at this. Don't look at this. I wouldn't care about people watching me absorbing a jab. And it's not just about embarrassment. It's dominance. Especially so in that fifth round when somebody is just second round and the fifth round. When somebody's just teeing off on you like that and these are unanswered shots, that is as worse as it gets. That's the textbook definition of a beatdown, of a butt kicking, is when you doing all the kicking and your opponent just getting mollywopped. So I have to put this talking point out there. I feel like people are skipping over it. And people are literally skipping over it. They're talking about what happened in the fight, and they are not including many of the things that Grasso did. Now, I don't know. Maybe people got something against Grasso. I'm glad I'm unbiased. I don't have nothing against any of these fighters, and I don't have nothing for any of these fighters. I'm a fan of some of these fighters, but I'm not going to ignore something that they or their opponent did to try to, help them out. No. Okay? That's not how you live. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I've been listening. I spent a while listening to people's take on the fight. And I don't hear nobody, like nobody points out those moments by Grasso. But if you yourself were in those fights, you would have been ecstatic about those moments. And you would have much rather have been Alexa Grasso in that fight, people. And I'm not saying that because I picked her or nothing like that, or because I'm trying to win an argument or nothing like that. I'm honestly, genuinely trying to put another narrative, another perspective out there. And I'm being as honest as possible, using myself as an example. There is no way under the sun would I rather been Valentina in that fight. I would choose to have experienced what Grasso experienced in that fight in a heartbeat. And I think that's a real good way to find out who actually won the fight, because who won the fight is more about who feels like the winner, who walk away feeling like and who other people look at as being the winner. But when people see Shevchenko, many people are going to see the image of her for the first time being beaten on. Understand, we never seen nobody just beat on Valentina like that. Y'all remember I talked about that? How we never had any images of Valentina being punched, her face all distorted. And for the first time in Shevchenko's career, she was getting wailed on and she was neutralized where she didn't have no choice but to take the wailing. That don't get no credit. People just not giving Grasso credit at all. Hey, I'm not one of those people. And listen, man, that fifth round, the end of that fifth round period, tell me a moment before a minute and 30 seconds left in the fifth round that you remember. What memorable moments do you have? Because the only thing I remember is Valentina. And what about that moment when Alexa Grasso just took, they were up against the cage. Grasso got behind her, lifted her up, and just slammed her on the mat Another humiliating moment. It's like every single moment Grasso had, it's a moment where she is spazzing out and almost ends up stopping Valentina and gets the crowd out of their seat. And it's not just because of Mexican Independence Day. No, it's not. It's how she's fighting compared to how Valentina is fighting. Valentina has had critics for a very long time about how much of a point fighter she is. That point fighting finally caught up to her. She got in there with a scrapper, somebody who's down to scrap. And when the scrapping got going, Shevchenko wasn't scrapping. She wasn't scrapping back. She sit back and wait until Grasso calms down and then starts to get back into a slow-paced fight. Come on, man. Valentina was defeated. Before this fight, she said herself, I need a stoppage. All of you Shevchenko fans, why don't you be upset and disappointed with Shevchenko for not getting a stoppage? That is what she... And if not a stoppage, her plan was to totally dominate. By her own admission, she didn't totally dominate. It seems like when it comes to Shevchenko, she has some fans that will never, ever, ever say anything negative about her at all, no matter what. Shevchenko has some of the most loyal fans I've ever seen in my life. I don't want that. I want Valentina to feel like she got her butt whooped. Ever since I've been watching her, I've been showering her with compliments. People have been getting annoyed by all the compliments that I've been giving Shevchenko. She is an excellent fighter. But I've always pointed out how she needs to be more aggressive. Right? I've always said that. I said that if she was more aggressive, she'd be unstoppable. Y'all remember I was talking about her speed. That if she just tee off on these girls, they're going to be so intimidated by the speed, they're not going to try to throw any punches back. I've held Shevchenko's offensive arsenal and defensive arsenal on a level that was not shared with any other fighter. But let me tell you this. I have to admit that there are several times when I'm watching Valentina fight, there are several times when I say to myself, just fight. Just throw the shots. Let it go. Stop holding back. Tee off on this girl. Go get her. As a fan of Shevchenko, I found myself in that situation several times. Like, man, the fight would end. I'm like, man, it was a good fight and all. A lot of good skill, but man, Shevchenko has a lot more to show. I've always felt like she had a lot more to show. Like we have never yet seen her full potential. She never really went all out. At some point, sometimes you should turn your aggression all the way up to 10. Grasso does. Shevchenko never does. And that's why Grasso is able to have these big moments against Valentina. When Grasso turned that aggression up to 10, Shevchenko does not respond by turning hers up to 10. She simply waits for Grasso to calm down. Problem with that is you probably absorbed a lot of damages. A lot of damage. So listen, man. I like this discussion because we've had this before with these close decisions. And my view changes depending on how the fight unfolded. The way this fight unfolded, had I been Shevchenko, I would have felt defeated. I would have felt bad. It would have been hard to hold my hand up after the last round ended. You know how they'll hold their hand up as if to say, hey, I won. Forget about the judges. I know I won. Had I went through what Shevchenko went through, I couldn't have done that. I could have done that had I gone through what Grasso went through. If I were Grasso, I would have held my hands up after that fight ended. So just one man's opinion. And I believe most people would have rather had been Alexa Grasso in that fight, not Valentina. So when you say Valentina won the fight, you know, how much weight does that carry, really? So good discussions, you know. I like the discussions going on. We'd be better equipped to, you know, judge these fights going forward. It's an educational moment for us. You know, they recently changed the criteria. So it's good for us to have these discussions. Because Grasso fit into the new judging protocol better than the current version of Shevchenko. And that's why I picked Grasso in the rematch. Because I was aware of all this. I was taking all this into consideration. On top of everything else I talked about. This being a rematch, a lot of pressure on Valentina. Valentina needs a stoppage or complete domination. Yeah, it works. Oh, Alexa Grasso against Erin Blanchfield. If Erin Blanchfield is able to survive, I would give her the edge. But I have a hard time seeing Erin Blanchfield having much success against Grasso. She's too easy to hit. Erin Blanchfield is way too easy to hit. If you're getting tattooed with fists by Santos, Grasso will really piece you up. So yeah, I would have to. I don't know. That would be a good fight. But I just think Erin would be at a high risk of getting stopped. You know, especially early in that fight. I think the same about Rose. Erin is just so easy to hit. That first round is basically pound on Erin's face. You know, see if you can get a stoppage. So, yeah. But I like Erin's aggression. If she could have some type of defense to go with it, you know, she'd probably be unstoppable. But unfortunately, she's easy to hit. She'll probably get the belt, but won't have it for too long. And that's too bad. Yeah, Grasso. Yep. That's why I said that if Erin can survive the first round, I give Erin the edge in that fight. Because I think Grasso would have to stop Erin in order to win that fight. Early in the fights, it's harder to get a takedown. No, it's harder to get a takedown later in the fight. What am I talking about? I need to go to bed. What am I talking? I need to stop talking. That's what I need to do. But yeah, listen, man. Grasso looked so much like a winner this past Saturday that I'm saying right now, I would have rather had been her than had been Valentina. Take that however you want. Big shout out to everybody. And I will see you all on the next live stream.